Hi, my name is Darren from HCG.tax, and we're the team that seeks to demystify that sometimes confusing world of international tax. And today we have the honor of having another conversation with Jose. Jose, could you please introduce yourself?
Of course. Thank you, Darren. My name is Jose Aguilar Shea, and I have the opportunity and privilege of being here with Darren speaking about international tax, and particularly in Spain, where I'm a tax partner in the Squire Patton Boggs firm.
Fantastic. In terms of, let's talk a bit about real estate. Quite popular for high net worth individuals moving to Spain. Could you talk a bit about holding real estate in your own name personally versus using some sort of corporate structure?
Yes, that's an interesting question that comes across, and especially with Latin America, a lot of times, just because there might be other non-tax reasons why you want to hold assets through a company. In Spain, I tend to say keep it simple and hold the assets individually. There was a time where it's not strange to you to say that a lot of people had companies, then you can do the sale on top, and then the tax authority would not be visible on that. I mean, nowadays with the exchange of information, obviously that's totally disregarded. It doesn't make any sense. There was also situations where, again, wealth tax is due on the basis of Spanish assets. So if you think about it, if you had a non-real estate company, non-resident company that holds assets in Spain, that would not be treated as a real estate asset, as a Spanish assets. But again, right now, 2 years ago, they actually changed the law, and they said that if you have a company owning assets in Spain, that would mean that it would not be taxed, that would be treated as a Spanish asset. The fact that you have a foreign company holding assets in Spain, if that foreign company, more than half of its assets are Spanish CEDUS assets, it's deemed to be a Spanish asset for that purpose. Again, there's really no savings that you have foreign companies. Again, I could live with it from a tax planning perspective, because for other non-tax reasons, sometimes you have individuals or taxpayers that actually have the money in a company, and you may trigger taxes if it distributes. Again, you can live with that. The second point that comes through that is, if that's like that and you have a property held under a Spanish company, that is a kind of a related party transaction. So if you use it for personal reasons, theoretically, you should have a market value rent on that property, on the individual that is actually using it. That's something that you would have to consider eventually. But again, that's a case-by-case basis how we can consider.
Right. So I think we've talked, or at least I'm interpreting what you said as leaning more towards primary residence, owner occupied. But like if you building up an investment portfolio, you really like it, you're buying, let's say, more than two, maybe three, four, five. Then at that point, are you kind of leaning towards a corporate structure? You think if it's a family, you can just hold it in the patriarch's name?
Yes. But again, if you're looking at doing real estate investments because you want to rent them out, that would definitely make sense to kind of set up a business. And because wealth tax, as I said, that wealth tax exemption that I mentioned applies either residents or non-resident. So if you're a non-resident and you want to buy a hotel in Spain, and if you want to buy other real estate properties, you can put it through a company and also try to benefit from the family-owned exemption in that way. Definitely, when it's a operational investment, real estate or not, definitely makes sense to put it through a company.
Great. Jose, if anyone wanted to get in touch with you to follow up on any of the topics that we discussed, what's the best way to find you?
My full profile is in LinkedIn, and also you can find me on the webpage. Just put my name up and Squire Patton Boggs, and you can find full details. So happy to always assist and even for informal conversations.
Fantastic. Thank you.